Asia represent. Legend by Marie Lu. I didn't actually read this book because I was interested in the book initially. Like, I didn't find the book by myself. I heard of this book from a YouTube video where a YouTuber was doing a retrospective on teen dystopia novels. Hearing about this kind of book, and she gave like a very short summary in her video of what it was about, and I was like, okay, this is the kind of dystopia novel that I like. So when I read it, I was pretty pleasantly surprised. It's a dystopian novel, young adult. It follows two characters, and it's pretty engaging throughout. I like both characters, and I think that's a testament to the book and how the author wrote them, because oftentimes one character or another is like really boring and kind of not that interesting, but I thought they did a pretty good job, the author, in this book. Plot was quite predictable. You could like feel what was about to come most of the time, but I felt it hit all its notes correctly. I felt like I cared about the characters, which I think is important, right? One thing that was very, very apparent, you could tell from the beginning, was that they were trying to set up basically June figuring out that, oh, the Republic is actually full of bad people. And the way they did this was you could easily tell that people were lying and that the death of her brother, Mateus, was suspicious. And that was, I recognized that scene when Day threw the knife at Mateus, and it was descriptively, purposefully, specifically said that the knife went into the shoulder. And then when the death and the murder of her brother was finally told to June, and when she finds out, the commander says that he was stabbed into the heart. And it was just like, it was very apparent in how she described both scenes that these things were like highlighted. So then you can already be like, oh, okay, he threw it into the shoulder, but she said that he died from a heart, which means that she must be lying. So it's like, oh dear, we can already see that the Republic are going to be the bad guys in this story. So in that sense, it was very cliche, and it was really easy to see that that was going to happen, right? One of the fun things about this story is putting yourself into these characters' shoes, right? That's why I think I really liked those teen novels and these dystopian novels growing up. It's like you can put yourself into the characters in these stories. So I like Percy Jackson a lot because it's like, what if I just one day figured out that my pen uncapped into a bronze sword? Yeah, it was fun to actually daydream and like put yourself into the character of Day, because it felt like he was somebody that you could really root for and somebody you want to succeed. So then it makes sense for me to like get invested in his character. I want him to succeed, and I like to see from his point of view and then view his relationship with June. And I like how it started, you know, June like really want to catch this guy and make sure that he was the person. And it was kind of a cliche where it's like, oh, the person I'm trying to kill and the person I'm trying to catch, I'm eventually actually gonna fall for them, right? And that kind of cliche, I mean, already literally happened. But I felt like it was believable, where she first met with him and they met through more organic circumstances, and she just followed him around and got to learn what he really is actually like, and not what the propaganda says, right? I think that was one of the things I really liked about June's characterization also. The author really put in the effort for June to be characterized as a very smart individual, and it really showed with all her actions and how she analyzed things that were happening. And I think that was done in a good way by the author, because it made it believable that June is this child prodigy person, and how she could actually connect all these clues together, use some deduction, and actually be like a mystery detective and figure everything out. So I thought that was really well done by the author. I think Thomas was just really, really cartoonily villainish bad. I don't know why, but he served his purpose. It was a love interest juxtaposition between him and Day. I think I was engaged throughout the story. I wanted to follow what was going to happen, figure out how the characters were going to solve their problems. And I think the pacing, it was more carried by the characters and not the plot, because I thought the characters were really well written and really carried the story where the plot didn't. I don't think the plot was bad at all, but I felt like it was very predictable, and overall the things that happened in the plot wasn't anything like super crazy or something that was very unique from other stories that I read. I thought it did its job well, and I mean, it was just a standard plot. So the ending, not even that much of a cliffhanger. I feel like it wraps up all the important plot points in that we wanted to know in this first book, which is Day escaping, what happened to his family. I guess there's just one other thing. I don't know if his other brother, the one that was sick, got out or he also died, but there's like a clear goal now. So I would say the ending was pretty good as well. Plot 3.5 out of 5. Pacing 4 out of 5, I think. I would say the ending is a solid 4 out of 5 as well. So for characters, I would give it a 4 out of 5. So overall, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I'd recommend anybody who wants to take a trip down the young adult dystopia alleyway and relive some of those good memories. This is a good book to start. Asia represent!